It's been a bit of a lively week, Gary, this week. Some bad news about Andy Williams. Cruciate ligament is, I guess, it's what footballers always dread having, isn't it?
Well, in our day it was, because our careers were over once you got a cruciate. But nowadays, it's just probably 6 months a year out of your football life. And if you get it at an older age, then it's obviously a problem. But Andy's still got a few years in him yet, and although it's really disappointing for him, it's got to be. And all players that get that type of injury, it's a long haul back. The rehabilitation takes ages after the operation. So we wish him well and hope that he's back in full swing as quickly as possible.
I guess that's brought into question a lot of transfer speculation, obviously with a striker going and our need for goals. Can you enlighten us as to your thoughts on that, and if you've got anybody in mind? Or
well, the first thing you have to do, while you've got the players under your own roof, as it were, you've got to make sure that they keep improving, and that while you've got them, that they've got to keep trying to get themselves into more dangerous areas more often, work on their technique so they can be cleverer when they're coming into the penalty area for shots, and we're not just shooting against the legs of the opposition. And then you need that brightness around the place. Now everybody agrees that we're doing well enough outside of goal scoring to earn a position in the game where we should be scoring, and that's the only thing that's lacking at the moment. But I know it's 14, 15 games now, so you can't keep waiting. But while you're waiting for that perfect striker, you've got to make sure the ones you've got are doing their best to pick up goals. And
you've been quoted as saying that you've got a new striker in anyway, in the shape of Paddy Madden. He's suddenly taken on a new lease of life, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he has, and I'm really pleased with that, because it was something that was dragging on a little bit. We was hoping that it would have been sorted out a little bit quicker, but he's a lad that wants to play, but it was a bit chicken and egg. It was difficult to pick him when at the time he wasn't playing very well anyway, certainly wasn't scoring and wasn't doing enough to warrant a place in the team. And then all of a sudden the situation gets worse and worse in somebody's head that it's hard to break out of it. So we had to wait for that, for Paddy to realise actually he's missing playing football and he wants to be playing, and what have I got to do to be playing? And he knew what he had to do to be playing, and he started doing it. And I'm pleased to say he's a much happier lad. He's a much better player because of it, and that is a new signing for us at this current time. And hopefully he will, he'll be in the squad on Saturday, and he'll show us, his new state of mind.
And he's looking quite sharp, I gather, in training as well.
He is looking quite sharp, but it's that, it's the body language, it's the facials, it's what is now that if and when he plays, it'll be more about the team, which is important, and also more about if he's not scoring, then he's still producing something for the group, and that's important to us. And I think he's realised that, and it's another level, the Championship, and you can't just walk from the Irish League, to the First Division and then suddenly to the Championship. He made that great step from the Irish League to the First Division and done fantastic. But it's still a bigger jump to go from the First Division to the Championship, and you have to listen to the people that have been there that are trying to help you.
Now, you've been talking quite a lot to various press outlets about your quest to try and get some more players in and how difficult it is. I mean, A, have you got anybody in mind, and B, just how difficult is it?
Well, if it wasn't difficult, I'd have a string of centre forwards, strikers waiting outside. You know what I mean? It's it's been well documented about the region that we live in, and the city boys don't always like to come out to sleepy old Yeovil as they might see it. We don't see it like that, but and then you have to get the right situation, the right player at the right time for the right price, for the right reasons, because you can easily pay a lot of money and somebody come down here and not try a leg, and you know, just to get out there, or he's coming down here to put himself in the shop window for someone else. Got no reason, you know, doesn't want to sign for us anyway. So we got to be careful that we're not that vehicle for those agents and players. So you have to, you know, look at everyone on its merits. We've had some good performances. I think Joel Grant and Sam Hoskins have put in some good performances without scoring the goals. We did get our 3 against Nottingham Forest. Obviously, that was a midfielder and a centre half, so they might need to come up and help in those situations. But you know, we'll keep striving. We'll keep striving because we do need somebody tucking the goals in. I'll be really pleased if it's somebody that's already here, but otherwise we'll keep looking.
When you sign a loan player, I mean, obviously there's this sort of period of time, 1 month, 2 months, whatever it might be. But do you also look with a view that maybe you might think about signing him full time at the end of the loan period or the next window? Yeah,
I think we always look to do that, because then when they're playing on loan, then at that point, you know, you're looking for someone that is doing it for this football club, not just for themselves. Or you've got somebody like a Wayne Hennessy, which, you know, we're never going to be able to sign, because he's going to go to, if not a championship that's pressing, he's going to go to the Premiership. You know, he's on a lot more money at Wolves, but it suited all 3 parties, and they're the ones that sometimes you have to look for. And you look for the one that might be a possible loan signing with a view, and then you look for the one that sort of is got a good enough personality to bring in on the short term, that will help you. But again, you've got no chance of getting them. So there's a story behind every loan, but ideally I'd love to have enough in our squad that we don't need to go out and get loans. But I think we've got some loans now that are real good club loans, as in, you know, their personality means that they come to a club like ours and want to do their best. You know, Joe Rules, Shane Duffy, Wayne Hennessy, Liam Fontaine, Fraser Fivey. He'll be back for the Doncaster game. So, you know, all of a sudden, you've got 5 loans that are good lads, real good lads.
Now, obviously Sunday, I should say, not Saturday, folks, Sunday, it's Wigan. FA Cup winners, just got back from Russia, played in the Europa League. Yeah. Got a good draw, I think, Martin's saying. But you haven't got Ed Upson, who is the leading goal scorer at the moment. So how do you feel about that?
Well, we're excited about the Wigan game, of course, because, you know, if you're playing the FA Cup holders and the team that's just flown back from Russia, having played in Europe and last year been in the Premiership, you've got to look forward to that. You've got to, you know, that's a game where you're not, again, expected to win the game, only we expect ourselves to win the game. The bookies won't. And we've got to try and see how close we are to those teams. And we've proved we're close to Forest, Leeds, QPR, Reading. You know, Leicester. You know, we've played all them top teams, and we've proved that we are, on occasions, on a par with them, other than scoring the goals. And that just seems to be the difference. But hopefully that'll break soon, and you know, we can get ourselves on the move.
Have you got any other injury problems lined up for Sunday?
No,
or
I'm all right.
okay?
Oh, sorry, you meant that. No, I don't think we have. Not at the moment, anyway. So it's just the normal ones, and as you say, Ed's missing, which is a bit of a blow, of course. But other teams are going to have their good players missing pretty soon, because the way yellow cards are given out, you know, there'll be a lot of players on 4 or 5 coming up bookings now, and coming into the winter. Some players, not ours, but some players like to get their 5 bookings over the Christmas period, so they can spend a bit more time at home and a bit more on the turkey. Not our players, I hasten to add. But that will come up. The heavy grounds will start coming in now as well. So, you know, it's another part of the season, let's say. It's the second quarter, and often you get the first suspensions start coming in and the grounds start getting a bit heavier.
What sort of an effect do you think flying back from Russia? I know they've got this extra day, but it must be a bit of a tall order come back from Russia and then straight into training and a game.
Well, we hope so.
Yeah.
You know, that's got to be a positive from us. I'm sure Owen Coyle has thought about that, and I think he either rested or certainly didn't play some of his lads that have been regular players in the Championship. But you know, they've got a squad of 30 Championship players. That's what they've got, and you know, if not Premiership, because I know they got relegated last year, but they've got players that have played in the Premiership. But they have got a group of quality players. So whoever they play, whoever they rest, you know, they're all top players.
Talking about Russia, which we were to a degree, you've got some good news about Latvia to tell us, haven't you?
Yeah, it's fantastic that we're able to play Latvia on the date 18th of November. It's good for us because it's the Monday after we come back from the lads having a little break, you know, international break. They haven't got a long one. They'll be off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but they'll know they'll be coming back to this game against Latvia. So it'll be a first team game, and it'll be good to get the lads after coming back from their break back into the swing of it very, very quickly. But you know, a player that played for me and I brought over to England when I was Latvia coach, Marian Pahars, is now their head coach. He's their manager. Vitalis Stafias, who I brought over for Bristol Rovers, is on the staff as well. So I'm still very close with the Latvian Football Federation and Marianne's and a lot of the players that are there. So it'd be great to entertain them here, and it'd be a good game as well. Don't get too many international teams come to Hewish Park, but again, it shows just how far we've come.
One thing we didn't mention about the game against Wigan tomorrow, Sunday I should say, Sunday folks, it's definitely on Sunday, not Saturday.
Well, you're trying very hard to make it Saturday.
Yeah, I am. Sunday, we've just launched our new 10-year book, 10, and as you know, there's a team of the decade in there, and hopefully, all being well, those 12 players or 11 players plus yourself will be paraded in front of the crowd on Sunday. Yeah,
they will all be parading in front of the crowd, and it's a great honour for the supporters of this football club to select a team of the decade. It is I've had privy to who it is. I know it's still a secret, but you know, it's a team that has been a fantastic team for this football club. And I'm sure they'll be honoured, and they're honoured enough that they'll all be here and be presented with their certificates, and I'm sure one of those books that they will feature highly in. I've read the book. It's written in a very emotional way, which is fantastic. It made me have a lump in my throat, and if not a lump in my throat, then tears in my eyes, and if not that, then it was a little shiver down my spine. So congratulations to Martin McConaughey and everybody that put the book together, because it really is a proper supporters book, and it does remind you of how well this club has done over the last 10 years to go from non-league to the Championship. It sort of puts everything in perspective.
And from team of the decade, we switched to Wallace and Gromit. We got a few Grommets up here on Sunday.
Yeah, not Wallace. He ain't turned up. No. But Mr. Goddard Watson, his sons have got a few companies in Yeovil, of course, and they went to Bristol and bought 3 Grommets that are very famous all over the world. People went to Bristol from all over the world to see these 60-odd Grommets that are same size as me and all different colours. And I'm pleased to say they've agreed to bring 3 of them to Yeovil on the day. So if you can find them, you can be, because it is a little bit of a trail, it won't be too hard, so you won't be looking all day. But great photos to be had with the 3 Grommets that will be in Yeovil.
Thank you, Gary.
On that Sunday during the game against Wigan.
You mean the game that's on Sunday and not Saturday?
Correct.
That's the one.
But, be great, it'd be good for them to see, because they're history themselves. They've made big news in Bristol, and it's nice to have kidnapped 3 of them and brought them to Yeovil.